This is day number 323, and it's my name is Jordan Obeas. I'm the founder of dayNumber. I've been documenting my journey for the last 323 days, really in the pursuit of creating a platform and a network to support early stage founders to really fulfill their vision with what they're building. And originally, uh, so usually what I talk about every single day is like what happened the day before and what's going to happen today. So essentially, or what I plan to have happen today. It's usually doesn't always go as planned, but that's why I'm documenting this so I can share. And yesterday, I spent the time with family. Didn't really get much done. A lot of people messaged me, adding me to groups since last week or so when I joined when I started talking to founders. So I really got to get back to talking to founders every single day, just direct messages, warm outreach, and really start making more content, around founders' journeys. Whether it's the founders on dayNumber or founders who are already that are not on dayNumber, because I could feature their story as well. But it's nice to do ones that are already there. So I'm working on one right now, and then today I'm gonna go to Innovation Factor in near McMaster here in Hamilton. They're, I think, in a government-funded accelerator, probably a nonprofit. So we'll see. The cool thing is that I created a community tier for, um, accelerators and incubators running cohorts, so that they could support early stage founders. Um, to basically see like keep track of what happens every single day. And then collectively support them to actually fulfill their mission with what they're building. That's what dayNumber is there for. It's like, you can only support and keep track of and build relationships with so many people. dayNumber allows you to maintain those relationships, um, no matter how many people you speak to, right? So that's what's gonna happen today. That's gonna do that today. Here with my boy Max, Maxi boy. Do it. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Got a record now. What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Beautiful day out. It is a little bit cooler today. He looks like Manny Pacquiao. Yo, there we go. Thanks. Thanks, man. Thankful. Because you know what? Manny Pacquiao, he's like a billionaire, man. In the Philippines, man, his US money, holy, he's king there, bro. He's king. Rockies Noria, too. Yeah, what's going on? What's up, guys? So today, where you guys all tuning in from today? Where is everyone tuning in from? Love to know. Here with my boy Maxi. Maxi boy. Yeah, where's everyone tuning in from today? I'm here in Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada. Like I said, today I'm gonna go to the Innovation Factory, and I'm gonna be, doing a demo of dayNumber, which is gonna be fun, and seeing where that goes. Whatever happens, happens. That's what I realize now is like, where you really have the life's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen. And I think at the end of the day, when we feel like we're the ones making the decisions, ultimately, I believe that there's some life path that we all have, and it's just life being life. You know, um, if when you look at nature, it I don't think it like forces or it just goes with the flow. Look at this tree. Like before, it was bare. If you look at some of my lives, like just like a couple months ago. By the way, guys, for your first time today, I go live every single day, so make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can know when I go live. Mostly talk about business, the what I do with my startup, like what happened the day before, what happened today, where I'm going, any exciting news. Um, Sometimes I just ramble, uh, about life in general, and answering your guys' questions. If you want to ask questions about business, about life, um, I'm here to support. The main reason why I'm doing this too is to hold myself accountable, to continue building what I'm building with dayNumber. with this platform. Oh wow, what a beautiful sky. That's crazy. Look at that. Beautiful sky. Yeah, hold on 1 second, guys. Just gotta pick this up quickly. Alrighty. Mission accomplished. What's up, everyone? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so I tend to talk about business in life. And one of the things that, as a founder, when you're starting to build something, um, doing demos, actually, that's what I found that what actually got people to stay the longest. Building dayNumber is like showing people what it is, actually hand holding them. But until that's what you have to do at the early days, because until it hits like traction, like any product or anything like that, you have to get it into the hands of people that could may want the product that you're selling or service that you're selling, right? So, Wendo Arson, where is it? I am in Canada. How about you? Where are you guys? Whereabouts are you guys from? Yeah, so do a demo. Demo your product, demo your service, demo it to anybody. Show your product to anyone and everyone, right? Anyone that you know, right? Because you don't know who knows who, right? At the end of the day, there's probably people in your network, and this is what I'm realizing too, is that there's probably people in my network that may need what it is that or may want what it is that I am building or selling, right? So don't be afraid to reach out to family and friends. A lot of times, people start companies bootstrapping it that way, where they raise money from family and friends. You know, so a lot of great companies started that way. I think Amazon, Jeff Bezos borrowed some money from his mom. He also had money himself saved up, I think. Um, I think Bill Gates, even from one of his employees, his early employees, he borrowed money from. But they're going to pay him back, right? Um, so that's another thing. You gotta show people. I just finished reading Source Code by Bill Gates, and yeah, his mom. He even demoed one of his softwares that he was working on for one of his mom's friends. She was well known, and she did a lot of like community work. Sat on boards of charities, things like United Way as well in Seattle. Dad was a top lawyer, so you gotta show people what you're doing. Um, I don't think that it's just marketing can get you there. You have to do a combination of everything. Marketing is just sales, doing sales, and then multiplying it. That's what Claude Hopkins says. If you're into copywriting, you know who Claude Hopkins is. Um, Come on, Max. Hey, Max. Hey, leave it. Hey, leave it. No, don't eat it. All right, guys. I guess one of the key things that I realized is, when I was in sales, I was doing sales, B2B back like 14 years ago. I think 14 years ago, yeah, 2012, 2013. And we'd sell things like perfumes, speakers, helicopters, like toy helicopters, stuff for kids. And a lot of them was things that would, like let's say toys or toy helicopters, when we would demo them, we'd actually get a lot of people to see what it is, and we would sell a lot more, right? So these things were like $10, $20 items. You know what I mean? They're not like the helicopter is probably like $30, $40, sometimes $50. And but yeah, when you demo something, people see it, and that's why in like infomercials, they demo the product so that people can see it. And so that's what I'm doing today. Even though I could say, oh, here's the link, go check it out, go try to browse around. It's like, no, You do the whole experience where you're in person, you meet the people, you're building a relationship, right? You're building relationships with people, with your ideal client or customer, and finding out maybe it's not the thing. Maybe the thing that you think you're trying to sell them is not the actual best solution for them, for what the problem you're trying to solve, right? So, what's up? What kind of problems are you guys working on right now? I think that's the main thing. Is like, why is it that we start to build companies not just to make $1 million or $1 billion? There's a million ways to make $1 million, but there's a reason why you're focused on building a certain thing because you're focused on a certain problem and you're solving it. Right? That's why a lot of people like games because there's some sort of problem you're trying to solve. It's like a puzzle you're solving, right? So, so get obsessed with the problem and understand it so well that when somebody speaks to you, you get passionate about it. You know, because it's so close to you. You understand the problem really, really well. And when you understand it so deeply, it's not hard to talk about it and build a solution, right? That's the key. Oh, let's go. All right, guys. So, yeah, where are you guys tuning in from today? Where's everyone tuning in from? All right. What's up? What are you guys up to today? Yeah, this is why it's noisy. I just showed you guys the road. But yeah, you guys got to get the hands. So one of the key principles is getting the product in people's hands. You know, when I was going to business to business, whether it was perfume or whatever item it was it gave them a sense of ownership, right? When you put the product in people's hands and they're using it, they're testing it, they're playing with it, yeah, it gives them that sense of ownership, like it's already theirs. Now when you take it away from them, it creates that fear of loss. It's like, oh shoot, okay, I can't have this right now. It was good, I liked it, but I gotta. That's why people test drive cars. It's like, oh, test drive this car. You're in the dealership. They're already talking to you. You made friends with them. It's like, oh shoot, this is like already my car. And by the end of it, you're like signing finance papers. You know, so it's so you're walking out there with the car after you test drove it. So it's give people a test drive, right? I think there was the one person who became who helped with Tesla for to be CEO for a few years, and he was just in talks with Elon Musk, and one of the things that they were seeing is that they weren't getting like they were really behind in their sales. So he just like did some first principles thinking and said, okay, what's going on? He called the sales force, like the guy head of sales, like he's like he saw all these leads and he's like, why aren't why aren't these leads being like converted? He's like, oh, they just weren't followed up with. You know, so there's no follow up to book like a test drive. And so once they followed up with all these people and called them, booked the test drive, boom, you know, the sales skyrocketed. Right? And then after Elon Musk is like, okay, you'll fit in well with this. He wasn't even fully hired on. He wasn't even hired on as a CEO or anything. You know, I think somehow he got access or Elon Musk just gave him like a problem. He's like, hey, look, this is our problem. This is where we're at. What would you do in this situation? Just gave him something, right, to do. Anyways, guys, I have to go. Have a great rest of your day. I go live every single day tomorrow, day number 323. Shout out to Wendo Arson, Rakis Noraya, Sonic Hedgehog, and everybody that liked and subscribed. All right, guys, have a great day. Day number 323. I'm out.